everyone, so today's video is going to be a Q&A, or as I like to call it, a Q&Allie with me. I haven't done one of these, I don't think in a while. A couple of months ago I think I did one, or a couple of weeks ago. I'm trying to pre-film some videos before I go on vacation on Monday. By the time you see this video, I will most likely be on vacation. I'm not sure if I'll be vlogging on vacation, but if I do vlog, you'll have those vlogs to look forward to. I posted a picture on Instagram early this week, so be sure to follow me on Instagram if you want to see some vacation pics, or just be able to ask me questions in my next Q&Allies. I feel like we're just chatting when you guys ask me these questions, so be sure to follow me on my Instagram. That's the main place where I ask you guys to ask me questions if you do want to ask me questions for the next Q&A. And yes, I did get my hair done. I guess because I always bring my hair to the front, I always saw like the blonde, but yeah, I didn't realize my hair was that brown in the back, but I'm happy I got that fixed. So, enough about my hair. I talk enough about my hair in my vlog, so I'm gonna get started right away on my Q&A. The first question is, why don't you ever attend YouTube events like VidCon, playlists, etc.? So there's a couple of reasons why I don't really attend these events. First of all, I live in Canada and I live in Montreal, so there's not many events in Montreal, especially English events. I don't speak fluent French, so I can get by, but it makes me very flustered. So a lot of the events in Montreal are French. I suffered from social anxiety. I still suffer. I don't really suffer from it as much, but there's just something about those events that make me anxious. Like, I just don't want to go. I don't like crowded places. I don't like long lines. I don't like crowded places like that. And from what I've heard, some YouTube events can get really, really crazy. I love meeting you guys. I was in Ottawa this week and I got recognized a couple of times. I love meeting you guys and putting faces to your names. So I definitely do want to do a meetup in the future, whether it's in Ottawa or Montreal. You guys will have to let me know where. Those events, like, they don't really appeal to me, and especially if I'm coming from Montreal, if I'm going to be, you know, flying to LA or flying to Florida or whatever, it's a lot of money for the airfare, the hotel. I mean, my management or my network could definitely get me like a ticket to the event, so the ticket's not really an issue. If I'm going to be spending that much money, I want to be on a beach or I want to be somewhere. So yeah, that's kind of the short reason why I don't really like to go to those events. I love meeting you guys. I love meeting fellow YouTubers, and all the YouTubers that I watch pretty much I'm friends with. So if I was going to go to LA, I'd want to go and like meet my friends in LA. I wouldn't really want to go to like a big convention. It's just not for me. Have you ever had bad girlfriends, and how did you not let them affect your life? So I actually have a whole video about losing my best friend. I will link that down below. There are, like, I don't want to say like bad girls in my life, but there's people that are just like so two-faced, and I just keep them at arm's length. I'm friendly with them, we're acquaintances, but you guys know I keep my circle small. It's just the way I like it. I have a group of like close friends. I feel like a lot of people drain me, and there's a few people in my life that are my close friends that just like energize me. So I keep those people kind of like at arm's length. If I see them, I'm friendly, but I'm not gonna like make an extravagant effort to like hang out with them. What's even the point? Like, if you don't like me, just don't talk to me. Like, I don't need that in my life. So I got a lot of questions about vegans. Opinion on vegans. Would you ever go vegan? My opinion on vegans is, I don't have that much of an opinion. I don't feel like what you eat defines you. I don't feel like if you don't eat meat or you don't eat animal byproducts that you're a better person than a meat eater, because I'm sure there were some, you know, awful vegans, and I get where they're coming from because they're very passionate, but I just don't appreciate it, and I think it turns me off. That's why I think a lot of people think I'm like against vegans or something, but I just don't appreciate when people are like condescending or rude about it. I'm going to use an example as my sister. I'm sorry, Tony. She came home one day with Earth Balance butter, and she's like, I'm going to try and stop eating as much animal products. And I'm like, okay, that's great, like, do you? But one Sunday night, my mom makes this like big delicious dinner with, you know, like steak and vegetables and rice and a lot of good stuff. And she's buttering her bread with the Earth Balance butter, and she's like, yeah, I think I'm just going to, you know, like, cut down on the animal products. I'm like, Tony, you're eating a fucking steak right now. Like, do you realize how stupid that sounds? So yes, I've been eating the Earth Balance butter, and honestly, it tastes just like butter. I don't think I'd ever label myself as a vegan. For me, I'm a very like 0 or 100 type of person. If I'm gonna go vegan, I'm cutting out, you know, all animal byproducts, leather, furs, all stuff like that. I feel like if you're gonna come on and preach about, you know, oh, like, save the animals, the food industry is so awful, and you're gonna carry leather bags or leather jackets or leather shoes or anything like that, I just feel like it's kind of hypocritical. Yes, apparently leather is a byproduct of, you know, the food industry, but, you know, an animal is still dying for that. You're still using its, you know, skin. Obviously, like, use what you have already, but if you're going to continue to buy things, I think you should call yourself plant-based. Some days I don't eat any meat. Some days I'm all vegetables and salads and smoothies and everything. some days I do eat meat. Some days I want a lot of salads. Some days I want a fucking burger. And if I want a burger, I'm gonna eat a burger. That's my opinion on everything. I just think that you should respect everyone. I think there's a lot worse things you can do in this world than eat meat. So I think it's all about balance. So I'm kind of getting on a tangent now. I don't even know what I was supposed to answer. If you had a small number of subscribers, would you still continue making YouTube videos? Obviously I would. Everyone starts off somewhere. I was making, you know, at one point I had 10 subscribers. I actually, maybe I'll insert a little clip here, but when I started YouTube in 2008, I started in 2008. You guys know the whole story, took a couple breaks, whatever. I think when I hit my 10th subscriber, I made a whole video. I forget what, I think it was called Shoutouts and Thank Yous, and I know some of my OG subscribers will remember this video, but I sat and I had all the names written. I was like, I know Vane WPC, she was one of my first subscribers, and I was like, Vane WPC, thank you for subscribing. And when I started, I mean, everyone starts somewhere. When I started YouTube, it was a very different climate. It was very, very different. I loved it. I still love it for the same reason that I loved it when I started. It's a hobby. It's something fun. It turned into my job, and it's amazing, but it started off as something fun, and honestly, when it wasn't fun for me, was I making videos? No. When it's fun for me, I want to make videos. So yes, I would obviously continue making videos if I had a small amount of subscribers. Everyone has to start somewhere, and I mean, I started with 0. I would definitely still be making videos. I mean, why not? Another sort of YouTube-y question. If you're going to start a YouTube channel today, would you pick a different subject matter than beauty? So, like I said, when I started in 2008, YouTube was very, very different. It's definitely not how it was back in the day. When I started, you only really had an option. It was like, I forget what it was, but it was like guru and then beauty and style. So there was no lifestyle. At the time, I don't even think there were vlogs. At that time, YouTube was still very much the website where you'd go on to watch funny videos or cat videos or Charlie bit my finger, you know, stuff like that. There was no lifestyle. There was no story times. There was no vlogs. Like, it was very, very different. And beauty just seemed to fit. It's how I found the community. I loved makeup. I loved girly things. So I just, you know, fell into that category. If I was starting a YouTube channel today, I think it would be what my channel is now, which is more of a lifestyle channel. So my channel, you know, I always think of it as like a virtual best friend where I talk about my life and my favorite makeup products and my style and weight and everything like that. So I think of it as kind of like a lifestyle, like virtual best friend. So yeah, if I was going to start a YouTube channel, like let's say this was like my first video, I think it would be I'd fall into the lifestyle category, but at the time when I started, it wasn't like this. How do you stay organized between YouTube, collaborations, and Coffee and Couture? I feel like there's different priorities. So in terms of like my life, obviously my family and boyfriend and friends are like a priority. But then when it comes to my work, I have, you know, a bunch of different things that I do. Right now, Coffee and Couture is kind of like my priority because, you know, I have customers. They are my priority. You want to get the orders out, you want to be working, you want to keep people happy. So Coffee and Couture is kind of my priority, and then YouTube. And right now I vlog a lot. I don't do a ton of sit-down videos. I have been doing a couple sit-down videos, but I probably do about one or two sit-down videos a week, and then I vlog. Currently I'm on like an every other day schedule, and you guys really like the vlogs, so that makes it a lot easier on me because I just, you know, prioritize. I like writing lists. I just know I have to get things done, so it kind of makes things easier on me. But yeah, I just, you know, Coffee and Couture, YouTube, and I'm not doing a ton of sit-down videos. I'm not doing a ton of sponsored videos. I'm just very busy with Coffee and Couture, which is such a blessing. How do you motivate yourself to get ready in the morning if you stay home working? So that's a really good question, and I think that if you are staying home, if you're a stay-at-home mom, or if you're like me and at the moment you're not in school and you're just, you know, working from home, it's really important to get up and get ready in the morning. And I'm not gonna lie, some days I don't get ready until like 2 p.m. I may be working and I may be, you know, editing or doing stuff, but I might not have gotten ready. But honestly, I feel like I am so much more productive when I get up in the morning and I take a shower and get ready and do my makeup and get dressed, because you just feel so much more put together. So I think that's the first step. If you're working from home, I definitely recommend getting ready in the morning. I always say practice what you preach, and I do this a lot, but you know, some days you start working and then you're editing videos, the next thing you know, it's 2 p.m. and you're like, oh, I have not showered yet. Which pair of Ray-Bans are your favorite in your collection? Let me get them. You guys know I am obsessed with Ray-Ban aviators. I always say why fix what's not broke, so that's probably why I have so many pairs. I am planning on doing an updated sunglasses collection. I'm planning on buying a pair in duty free, so that's why I haven't done it yet, because I'm probably going to be getting another pair. But these are my current favorite sunglasses. Woo! They are these, I'll link them down below, the exact, you know, number and style and everything. But they're these silver flash lenses. Honestly, they're just everything. They're, oh, I just love them so much. And I get so many compliments on them. I don't know why it took me so long to get these sunglasses because they are like my favorite. What would you do if you got pregnant? My friends and I always talk about this because they always say, like, I could so see you as a mom. If I got pregnant today, I honestly feel like I would keep the baby. I feel like I'm, you know, a lot of people are like, I don't want to have babies until I'm 30. I'm like, I want to have a baby at 24. I always say that if I got pregnant today, I would be fine with it. I don't feel, I don't know, a lot of teens and young adults, they're always like, oh, my life is going to end when I have a baby. And I always feel like my life is going to begin when I have a child because it's just something that I so long for and I so want. I want to be a mom. I'm getting like emotional. I don't know, I just want to be a mom. I think it's like the greatest gift in the world. My biggest fear is not being able to, you know, conceive or carry a child. Definitely doesn't want a baby now, but I always say, like, if I got pregnant right now, I'm not anti-abortion. I believe it's a woman's right to choose, so it's not like anything about like abortion laws, but I just wouldn't want to get, I don't know, I just feel like I'd be okay with it. I would be okay if I got pregnant. I'd be okay having a baby. If I got pregnant today, I would have it. I can't see myself, you know, aborting it, or I could never give a child up for adoption. Like, if I get pregnant, that baby is mine. I think adoption is great for many people, but I feel like for me, I could definitely handle it, so it's not an option for me. That's a funny question, but yeah. What are your favorite coffee and couture pieces? So the piece that I wear in like almost all of my Instagrams is this Chunky So Fabulous choker. This is, maybe I should zoom you in, I'll zoom you in. This is the Chunky So Fabulous choker. This is actually a set that we have available. It's called the Oh So Fabulous set. It's my favorite set. It comes with a Chunky So Fab and then this like lightweight chain. I like to put it underneath my clothes just because I feel like it looks nice, almost like a body chain. This is probably my most worn piece. And then also in terms of like bracelets, any of the Athena stones, it's this unreal olive green stone. It's just, oh, it's beautiful. It's like so multi-dimensional. It has the most gorgeous color. I'll insert a clip as I'm talking about it. We have it in the petite teardrop, but honestly, I get so like, it's like my favorite stone of all time. It's amazing. If you're like me and you love like the neutrals, you need that stone, especially with rose gold. It's unreal. It's the only word I can really explain it in because it is unreal. And it looks amazing with either the gold or the rose gold. It's just like the most beautiful pairing. So any of the Athena stones, beautiful. I really love the oval stones or any of the lariats. I love the petite beaming lariat. Sometimes I'll wear it with this Chunky So Fab or like a different choker, but I wear the Chunky So Fab every day. It's probably one of our best sellers, and whenever you guys post a picture wearing it, it always looks so amazing. So yeah, the Chunky So Fab. The last question I'm going to answer is, I was wondering, now that you've launched your business with your sister and planned another surgery, what are you planning next? You really look like a goal-oriented person, and I totally relate to you on this point. So thank you for that. I am a really goal-oriented person. I didn't even really realize it until I thought about it, but whenever I set a goal for myself, I always think when, not if. Like before I got my first boob job, I was like, when I get my boob job. It was never like if I get a boob job, I was getting it. I feel like that's all like the power of like positive thinking. When Tony and I wanted to launch like our business, we were thinking when, not if. I think that if is a really powerful negative word because it's like, I don't know. So whenever I have a goal, it's a when, not an if sort of thing. You guys know I read The Secret. I'm kind of like into all that stuff, but I am a very goal-oriented person. I think that comes a lot from my dad. My dad came over from Greece when he was 19 years old, and he likes to say with like $10 in his pocket, and he started off as a dishwasher and then, you know, worked his way up until he opened his first restaurant, and he's just kind of like amazing to me. He's a very goal-oriented person as well. Growing up, I saw how hard he worked, and I think it just kind of subconsciously put that sort of message in my sister and I's minds about working hard to get what you want. A lot of people like to call us spoiled, but the truth is Tony and I have both been working since we were like 15. I was even younger, and we're pretty much like, aside from living in our parents' house, we're pretty independent. Tony pays for a car, I pay for my car, I pay for all my bills, everything like that. So I feel like a lot of people, like especially like in real life, like people that knew us, like they would always like to call us spoiled, and my parents just wanted to give us everything, but somehow along the way it just kind of made us very hard workers, which I don't know how they did that, but they did it. Yeah, my next goal is I started writing my book in late last year. Late last year I started writing my book, and kind of been so busy lately that I forgot about it. And then when I read this question, I was like, my book, that's my next goal. I want to publish my book. I mean, it's a YouTuber book because I'm a YouTuber. It's kind of going to be an autobiography, but it's going to be like funny stories from my life that have taught me lessons. And I think I love writing. I've always been a really good writer, and I'm really excited about that because it's just something I feel really passionate about, and I'm so excited to tackle that. So I need to find the time, and I have a title and an editor, and I'm just so excited for that. So yeah, I think my book is my next goal, so I'm really excited for that. Okay, that was the last question because I am officially late for my nail appointment, but I wanted to film this video, so I'm gonna go ahead and go. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to comment and subscribe for more videos, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.